everyone, it's Christine from Hollis Hands Create. Today is Monday, September 2nd. It's Labor Day. Happy Labor Day. And this is episode number 60 of my FlossTube channel, Hollis Hands Create. Welcome to everyone. I hope you've had a great holiday weekend. I've had an extremely busy holiday weekend, but I needed to come on today and got a SAL that ended. Deadline was today. I hope everyone who participated made great progress, or perhaps you got to finish. I'll show you mine here in just a minute. Let's see what else has been going on in my life. It has been crazy, crazy busy. Wrapping up my mom's house cleanup. So I've got a couple of things to show out of that. And we got the whole household this past house sold this past Friday. And, you know, there's just those odds and ends and things to kind of wrap up. But I think the majority of my traveling from Kansas City to Springfield, which is about 3 hours, a lot of days doing round trips, you know, going down all in one day, coming back, 6 hours driving, lots of cleaning, things like that. But anyway, we're getting, you know, down towards the end of that. We've had, let's see, some things around the house that we've been trying to get, you know, done. Some more getting ready for some fall landscaping. I'm hoping to plant quite a few bulbs and wildflowers and things like that in the beds that we were able to finish cleaning out from prior occupants of this house. And they're now ready for some planting. Let's see, what else has been going on? I don't know. You know, sometimes it's just hard to even think about that, and you're really here for the stitching. Let's see. Let's go on to the Hollis Summer Holidays SAL. And today was the deadline for the past 5 summers. This is my 5th summer. I've been picking a design. Most of them have been Plum Street, Rhode Island style samplers, but I got ahead of Paulette in the stitching her designs section. So I picked a new one to stitch, and we had a SAL going on, and it started on Memorial Day, and today was the deadline. And I will show you that I did indeed get mine finished. Here was my pick, Liberty's Welcome from Plum Street. I stitched this on toasted mallow, 40 count toasted mallow from number 12 Stitch Co. linen. I used the NPI silks. And the only change that I made was in here, instead of it saying this work wrought by and my name, I just put my initials and the year. I really love this. I thought the house was going to kill me at one point, but it's done. But if you stitch a Paulette design, you just know you're going to have to do some work, but it's always worth it in the end. I'm very pleased with how this came out. I'm excited to get it framed and get it ready to go on the wall. So here it is, Liberty's Welcome from Plum Street Samplers. If you were able to finish, and I know some of you were because you've tagged me and you've used the hashtag. If you were able to finish or just even get significant progress on something you wanted to stitch, I'd love to hear about it. Tag me, message me, whatever. Here was the chart, by the way. Liberty's Welcome from Plum Street. And I'm thrilled to have that one finished, and another successful summer, and challenging myself to pick a pretty good design that I might not, might be tempted to like put down for a while, and then it becomes a whip on the dreaded whip list. But I challenged myself to get something done. I actually finished that a little early. I was very happy. Let's see, I forget the date here. I finished on Tuesday, August 19th. So I gave myself almost 2 weeks to spare. So I was pretty happy about that. And anyway, thank you so much if you joined me. I appreciate it. By the way, I should have said thank you. If you're a returning subscriber, viewer, thank you so much for joining me and coming back and seeing me and seeing what I do and listen to what I have to say. Or maybe you don't listen, maybe I drone on. But thank you so much. And if you've wandered into this space by accident, or maybe somebody gave you a suggestion, I hope that you find something that you're inspired by and you'll want to come back and subscribe and ring the bell and all those kinds of things. So anyway, thank you again. I should have said that right off the bat. Okay, so I finished on the 19th. So I had put off my assignment in July on And Heaven and Nature Sing because I wanted to make sure I was dedicating enough time to Liberty's Welcome to make sure I was going to meet that deadline. So I went back on the 20th of August and I picked up And Heaven and Nature Sing, which is by Kathy Barrick. This absolutely beautiful, beautiful design. And I hadn't left myself just a ton to finish, which was the plan. And I finished it. So here is my finish. My changes are that in here, instead of putting the year 1827 in here, I just wrote in Noel. And I changed the floss color of the words And Heaven and Nature Sing and made it the same red. I believe that's NPI 207, instead of having it be the brown. I kind of wanted the words to pop out a little bit more. And so there is my finish of And Heaven and Nature Sing. I love it. And I did make a couple of little changes. I didn't put in the big thing here. I wanted the smaller tree in there to give it a little more depth, to look like he's standing forward and the tree's behind. I also just filled in the green here and didn't put all of the leafy things on the outside of the bowl. It's just a bowl stack. There's a lot of mistakes in this, but they're mine. It's okay. I'm all right with it. I love how it looks. So there's my finish of Heaven and Nature Sing. It's a beautiful, beautiful design. It's very popular in the shop. For those of you who know, I have an Etsy shop, CrossFit shop, and we sell a lot of that particular design. It's very classic. Okay, so those were my two big notable finishes that I'm very, very happy with. So that one only took me, grab my little handy dandy calendar. That took me 4 evenings to finish up Heaven and Nature. So I finished it on Friday, the 23rd of August. So then I thought, well, I've got, some more assignments that I could pick to do. What am I going to do? So I picked up Lazy Bear Mountain, which I had tabled for just a little while I didn't do a very good job of putting these things in order so I could just easily show them to you. I apologize for that. Getting a little, hopefully I won't get too discombobulated and take too much time here. But anyway, as I was saying, I went back to Autumn at Lazy Bear Mountain, which I had tabled through the last couple of summer months while I was working on Liberty's Welcome. So, Autumn at Lazy Bear Mountain, and you'll see mine has lines on it. It's because those are my assignments. And I started up here, was moving my way across, and I went to this block. It was a super easy one to finish up, so that's good. Now I'm ready to, I don't know, I may drop down here, but I may just do the top of the house with those birds too. I'm not sure which way I'm going to go with it, but here's Autumn on Lazy Bear Mountain. And let's see, I don't know if I'll need the board or not to show you the progress on this one. Let's see. All right, there you go. The colors are gorgeous. I'm using the NPI silks with this one. And I'm stitching this on a Seraphim, and I believe, oh, maybe I took the tag off. Let me see if I've got the project card. Oh, I do. 40 count old stationery by Seraphim. And here are my, oh no, I'm not using NPI silks. I'm using Vicki Clayton. So here's my little container. I put the little spools down in my little container. I've got the little conversion chart that she sends, and it all just fits right in here. It works out really well. I can just snap it closed and pop it right into my bag, and everything is good to go. So let me put that back up again so that you can see it a little better now that I gave you all the particulars. I don't know why you know what? I do know why I'm a little bit discombobulated today. I'm about exhausted. Friday, my husband was already working in Vincenttown, New Jersey, and I flew to Philly on Friday, and he picked me up. We went right from the airport straight down to LBI, Long Beach Island, New Jersey, which is where we always vacationed whenever we lived out there. And my husband's been vacationing with his family and or friends since he was a kid on LBI, and his aunt had a house in Beach Haven West. And so we've still got some really good friends who own property on LBI, and so we went down and met with some of them and went over to eat at the Oyster House and just had a great visit. And anyway, so we drove back up towards Vincenttown, gosh, around midnight, and spent the night there, then checked out the next morning at 6 a.m. and boogied on to I-95 and headed north and through New York City all the way up. Connecticut's always the drive that you hate on I-95, but we actually knock on wood, for all the trips we used to make there. That was the fastest we've ever made it through Connecticut and into Rhode Island. His first cousin, Tim, who they're only 10 months apart in age, and so they grew up more like brothers rather than cousins, and it was his birthday. And every year they have a huge party and a band and the whole thing. And every year they always say, are you coming? Are you coming? And this time it just worked out. So we were there. We did not tell them we were coming. We just walked in with our gifts. And I thought Tim was going to hit the floor. He was so shocked. So they had a huge party. And then we were out late that night, Saturday night, and then got up early yesterday morning and met them in Wickford. We love to go to the Wickford on the Water and eat. And so we had a great brunch and another like 2-hour brunch probably visiting, and then we had to get back in the car and head for the airport and flew in, and we got in late last night about, 10:30, 11:15. So it was a whirlwind weekend, but it was a lot of fun and places that we love, and I was glad to do it, but today I'm just a little tired. Anyway, sorry for that aside. There we go. There's Autumn a Lazy Bear. So this is the section that I finished up. Now, the fencing obviously has to be carried across, and I just work on that. Like whenever I was doing the little crows or ravens, I had some extra black on the needle, so I went down and extended another little bar over. Same thing, I think with the little horse, I had some extra black, and so I came down and, so I just carry that over as I need to. So, but the colors, the silk conversion from Vicki Clayton is just beautiful. And I love this. Love it, love it. It's a big one, but it's, classic Kathy Barrick Carriage House samplings. Just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So that was, I think, 3 evenings to finish up that little section, which wasn't, it wasn't real dense, so it didn't take real long. And then I thought, okay, I better get to dwelling place because I had not done my assignment for dwelling place. And here it is. This is the sampler I'm stitching. Currently, I think Yvette and Carol Crago and myself are the three who are continuing to work on this one. It's a beautiful, beautiful sampler by Teresa Kogut. Gorgeous. And let me show you my progress. I'm trying to kind of keep things organized as I put them down. Here's my mass of threads. And let's see, I think I need the board. So I tried to get a chunk of 2 assignments actually done. So I went to do kind of maybe the less dense of the assignments. Let me see if I can get this on here where I can show you well enough. I only show you these monster pieces. I only stitch these monster pieces for some reason. So anyway, okay, so here's where I am. Now I had finished, I'd started down here, went up, came down this way. And then typically I would have gone over and gone up, but that would have been another huge chunk of solid stitching. So I decided to go up and extend the letter, finish the alphabet, do the matching bird and stuff over in this corner with a little heart. And I need to extend the border on around the corner. But that's kind of like what 2 assignments would be. So minus the border, and then there's a bird. But so I got some work on it. I'm not totally finished, obviously, with that. But I'll get that finished this month. Because this would have been August and September's assignment. So I just wanted to get a head start on getting that finished up. It won't take long at all to finish that up in September, and I'll be ahead of the game. So that's where I am with that one. It will be, I won't lie, it'll be a bit of a challenge for me to want to work on this one, just because, I'm so now into fall and Halloween stitching, or wanting to stitch fall and Halloween. So, but I'm gonna hang in and keep going. So I'd like to get that finished this next year. Okay, so what do we do with our Friday nights? Well, in my house, most of the time, not this past Friday because I was traveling, but most of the time I am in the Hawk Run Hollow with several friends, and we get together on a Friday evening and we work on our hawk runs, and occasionally we work on a couple other pieces, but for the most part we're working on hawk run. And for the last, I don't know how many months, I'm way behind. I should actually be finished with this block. I should have finished it in August, but I had quite a few where I was traveling, especially after my mom passed and some things like that, so I'm behind, but I'll get caught up. But this is Shores. And so the block that like I said, I have been working on has been this 3rd block. Got to do the lace up in the corners. I think there's a bird sitting on the bird baths. Fill in the house. These are dense little blocks. They're all like 92 by 92. So they are definitely dense little blocks. But it's being stitched on Fiber on a Whim Old Gold, which I think is a great look with those colors. The blues especially just really pop on that color. So just beautiful. But I will say that this last, not this past Friday because I wasn't here, but the Friday before, I got to that point where I was like, okay, I'm having to do some really serious counting, and it's hard to do when you're talking at the same time on one of these calls. So I pulled out my other hawk run, because, you know, you got to have a couple of them going, seems like. And my other one is Autumn at Hawk Run. I'm just going to put this on here so I can show it to you. And I knew that I had some fill-in that I could do on this one. I'll show you. Oh, I guess I should show you. Here's the Autumn, or Shores at Hawk Run. There's the whole thing. So you can see that third block that I have to fill in the white on the house. I've got the tree outlined. I've got the roof and everything done. I've got to fill in, and I've got to do the lace. And yes, there are two. It's little birds, almost birdhouses, bird baths. So that's what I got to do to finish. But luckily, that fourth block is not too bad. So maybe when everybody transitions over, I can get caught up real quick and move over to the fourth one. So there's Shores. So I did pull out my Autumn at Hawk Run Hollow. Gorgeous, gorgeous. This one just makes me happy. I love all the fall colors. It's just my favorite warm palette. And I started this last year. This is the first block because I'm a right bottom starter. So this is where I was. And then I'm on this block now, the Thanksgiving block. I'll show you the second Thanksgiving block, I should say. Because there's like 2 Halloween ones right above that. I'm stitching mine on 46 count. And I'm using the NPIs. I had to remember. So I knew that I had like fill in that I could do. So I was working on his head and filling in all this brown here. And so I did that the last Friday night that I was on. So I think I can get that bird. Well, I don't know. I gotta tell you. This is the beginnings of one of these devil corns. That's what they call them. There's 4 ears of corn. And let me just show you. These things are brutal. I don't know if you'll be able to see these or not, but I'm going to put them up real close. There are 4 ears of corn here. And they match the 2 ears of corn that are here and here. And oh my goodness. So every little kernel is like almost a different color. So it's just painstaking confetti stitching. It's going to be beautiful, but I could probably have the rest of it done really fast and then I'll be stuck with that corn. So we shall see how that goes, but that's what I'm working on that one. Alrighty. So that's my assignment stitching basically, that I did for, in this last, since I spoke to you. I think I was on like maybe August 5th. So it's been like 4.5 weeks, something like that. Maybe even 5, I guess, if I look at the calendar. So let's move on to what are my fall stitching plans. Well, I also have a birthday in there, and I think last time I talked about that I've been asked on numerous occasions what my birthday start's going to be. I do have a birthday start. I'm not going to announce it just yet. I'll announce it whenever I do my September wrap-up, because my birthday's not till the 9th of October. And I have kind of come up with kind of 2 plans. I tend to stitch these ginormous things. I guess I'm just drawn to these really large designs. And I'm looking through, and I literally had 2 smalls that were fall or Halloween related. 2, that's it. And I have all these other, just ginormous things. And so I thought, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through my stash, and I did a little shopping. I will be honest. And I created a list of all kinds of smalls, fall stitching smalls. I'm going to take the next 3 months, September, October, and November, and I'm going to stitch fall and Halloween till I drop. I have some bigger whips that what I thought I would do is pick a chunk and make that equal like a small and get that done so that I still get some progress on some of these bigger ones, but I want to have some smalls. When I get to the end of this, I want to be able to fill a couple of bowls or just add to my decor with some smalls, and I'm thrilled about it. So I'm going to show you. I had worked and kitted and pulled things and filled 2 huge bags. I'll show you I'll insert the picture of the bags. And now I'm going to show you what is in those bags, maybe what some things I've added to the bags, the whips that I pulled out that I am able to maybe get finished or will get finished. I don't want to start these and then move on to something else. I want to pick one up, do it, move to the next one, pick one up, do it, move to the next one, and see just how far I can get. I don't know. We'll see, right? Maybe I can get a whole ton done. I'd be thrilled. I think I only have, let me look at my book. I have 12 finishes for this year. And, for the most part, they're all pretty big finishes, pretty big projects. So maybe I could get I don't know, maybe 15, you think? Little ones? I don't know. We'll see. That'd be exciting. So I pulled everything out. And I pulled out a whip to actually go ahead and take with me, and then a new little start to take with me on this past weekend. And I pulled this one out on the airplane ride from Kansas City to Philly. This is Lizzie Kate Autumn, her little Autumn Smalls leaflet. There's 4 designs to stitch. I have stitched this one before, and I had finished it and actually did that one for someone else. And this is now going back and stitching it for myself. And it's cute, and it took no time at all because there it is done. I did, added a couple little lines, and I made my letters a little taller because I just wanted them the pillow, I'm going to finish as a pillow. I wanted it to be a little bit wider this way. And so I made mine just a little taller, so that moved my X's up under the A. And then I just put 2 lines under there. I like the way it looks. And it's just pretty stinking cute. Classic Lizzie Kate. So that actually becomes finish number 13. And first, so it's one off my whip list. First finish in my fall small plan. My fall smalls is what I'm calling it. And I'm very happy. Very happy. So the new start that I took that was in my big bag of goodies was a purchase that I made when I was digging through all of my haul. I am a real sucker for Sub Rosa Designs. She has an Etsy shop, and you can download the PDF. And I downloaded this one. It's called the Pumpkin Bowl. Really, really cute. And so I started this one on the 1st, which was yesterday morning, early. My husband had gotten up super early because he's got a flea market, an outdoor market that he likes to go to in Rhode Island. And so he got up at the crack of dawn and went over there, and I did not. So I got up and started this little guy. Now the stitch count on this one is 87 by 79. Now she stitched it on a 32 count. I am stitching it on a 40 count. I know it's a 40 count, but unfortunately the tag, the fabric descriptor tag, was torn off of the safety pin, but I recognize the safety pin as one coming from Kitten Stitcher. So this is either an XG design or potentially one of her Wabi Sabi fabrics. I'm not 100% sure, but I love the grungy look of it. I think it's going to look really good with this one, and it's going to stitch up really quickly. I probably will make a bit of a change. She has initials, S and R, over here to the side. I don't think I'm going to do those initials. And so I think what I'm going to do is there's a star and a crown here. I'm probably going to leave those off, or potentially move the crown up a little, or the little star right up here. Maybe put one smaller down here, and then do the little border around. So I'm gonna make it my own a little bit, but I think it's gonna be really cute, and it's stitching up really fast. I did a little bit of stitching on it, like I said, yesterday morning. And then Chris actually got back early because it started to rain. And so then we, quickly headed over to Tim's house. And so I didn't pull it out again until we got on the plane. Unfortunately, we had to do some real juggling on the plane at the airport in Rhode Island, in Providence, because we were sitting there and all of a sudden we realized that our flight had been delayed. We just looked up on the board and it said delayed. And I was like, okay, no notifications. And we looked at our connection time in Philly, because we're going from Providence to Philly and then Philly straight to KC. It left us like 14 minutes from the time we were supposed to land until we were supposed to leave. Well, I don't know if you've been to the Philadelphia airport, but we were coming into Terminal A and leaving out of C. That ain't happening in 13 minutes. And just because you land at a certain time doesn't mean you get off the plane at a certain time. So we went up and they kind of did some juggling and got us on a flight through Chicago. And so we went, through Chicago to Kansas City. So the nice thing about it is it put the longer leg of our trip first. So I was able to just sit there and stitch with the window open, and didn't even have to really worry about lighting. And I just stitched, quite a bit, which was great. And then we didn't really have any time in Chicago because we really only had about 35 minutes. But we went into the same terminal as we flew out of. We just had to kind of go from one end to the other, which is not a big deal. And I did get it out for about 15 minutes or a little more on the flight from Chicago to Kansas City. That's not near as long a flight. It's like an hour and 20 minutes, so not too bad. But anyway, and here's my threads. So it only calls for 5 colors. So it's going to be a quickie. So there you go. There's what I did on the weekend. Now I'm going to kind of hit you with what the full plans are. And I'll show you what all I pulled. So I have this handy dandy little bag. It's like I don't know, probably like a 10 by 8 bag that I've had for quite some time. And I think I'm trying to remember who I bought this from, but I think it might be Linda Jo's. Seems like it's probably Linda Jo's bag. Anyway, so I have this. So it's great for putting a small in. And I actually have this just in my big shoulder bag that I always carry whenever I travel, because it just fits right in next to my purse and some other things that I throw in there. And it's super handy. So as I pull out the items from these big old bags, I'll pull each one and put it into the little bag, and that'll be my little bag that I get to carry. So the first one I had was that Autumn at Lizzie Kate, which was in there. Pulled it out, finished it. Then I couldn't stand it not having a new start, so I did a pumpkin bowl new start. So it's in the bag presently. And then the next thing that's going to go in there, that was my other small. I'll show you. As soon as I finish pumpkin bowl, will be Bittersweet and Broomsticks from With a Needle and Thread, Brenda Gervais. Design, there it goes that way. It's a classic. It's been out since 2018. I guess that makes it a classic, 6 years. So that one I have a start on. I'll show you. And it'll be the next one. So I'll get a whip. It'll come off my whip list. The whip list that I started 2024 with, which is nice. Move my thread. I still have needle and thread in it. Don't fuss. And there's my start on that one. And I am stitching it on 36 count Butter Crunch by Needle Bling, which I thought was a really nice, if you look at that pattern again, a really nice complementary linen. Beautiful. So that's Butter Crunch. Butter Crunch. It is. It's Butter Crunch, but Bittersweet and Broomsticks on Butter Crunch. Say that fast a few times. And lovely classic fall palette. So that will be next to go in the smalls bag. Now, here's where I can insert some bigger whips that, you know, would not be considered a small if you're stitching them for sure, but that I don't want to just leave by the wayside. And I've shown some progress on Olga's autumn stocking in the last, I don't remember if I showed it last floss tube or maybe the one right prior. And I'm stitching with this one with some friends. I'll just show you real quick. Yeah, I don't think I've shown you this since last time. So there's where I am. So what I'm thinking is I will, for the next couple of months, have this be a chunk to finish as a small and the tree be a chunk to finish as a small. That's kind of where I'm leaning towards this one, just so I make sure I work in progress on this. I think that's going to work well. So that one is Olga's Autumn Stocking. Put that back in my bag. And I'm stitching that on 46 count Milk and Honey by Fiber on a Whim, and using called 4 threads. And then the next one that I had a start on last year, and I haven't really picked it up at all. It was just a quick start, and that was it. And that's the Witch Training Academy from Kathy Barrick. I love this. Now, I've got a bit of a change because this one was stitched on Fox and Rabbit Seaweed, and I switched to 40 count Needle Blings Spellbound. And I'm just going to get this lined up so I can, okay, yeah, now I orient this the right way so that it's a small start, barely can call it a start. A couple of bats, and then the brown underneath of the moon. That moon will go on up the side. That's the lower part. But Teresa Curry, who is one of the dyers, the owner of Needle Bling, she has stitched this, or if she's not done, she's pretty darn close, on that Spellbound. And when we were at a couple of retreats together, I had seen it, and I'd seen the model on the seagrass, and I loved that too. But when I saw it on that purple, and it looks like they're flying through the night, I just loved it. So I pulled the Spellbound. So those are going to be the two that I'd like to also incorporate into, by doing a chunk of it to call it a small and continue to get some progress. Now, the rest all are in these lovely bags. I got this one from Needle and Hoop on Etsy. Lovely, lovely bag. And this one is chock full from Stitch in Peace. Big bag, and it is loaded. So, I'm just going to quickly run you through what these look like. We they're all not started, so it should take no time at all to kind of go through and show you what I have pulled out. And the first one is Where the Bittersweet Blooms from With Thy Needle and Thread. I've had this out so many times to start, and for some reason I just don't do it. But there it is. The next one is another With Thy Needle and Thread, which is Night Out, which I still have not stitched either, and it's been out since 2015. Classic Brenda Gervais. Then I did a little bit more shopping with Sub Rosa, and I bought October 31. That'll make an adorable little small pillow. And then I have some kits. This is a Chessie and Me kit, Halloween House, and it's a full kit that you can get, and you can still get these kits. Occasionally I'll have them, but I think I bought this one at Silver Needle in Tulsa. And I think it's kitted with Lakeside Pear. So, but just an adorable little design. Another one that's a Chessie and Me kit, Halloween Mini. Ooh, I got a little glare on that. Oh, there you go. There you go. Halloween Mini. That's adorable. Then I have this one all kitted. Classic Blackbird Designs Without a Mouse. This was a reward of merit kit that I've had for a while. And it's all kitted and ready to roll. All right, let's see. Next, very good friend lent me this chart, and so I made a working copy, and it is Jack the Halloween Cat by The Good Housewife. Love this. And I have it kitted completely with some Shiloh from Needle and Flax. You can see that. I think that's going to look perfect with that. So that's a good one. Another one that a friend lent me the design. So I have a working copy in here just because I'm not going to, these are out of print charts and I don't want them to get jacked up. This is Halloween from the Primitive Needle. And again, all kitted and ready to go. Shouldn't be long to do those. I'll put them back in the bag. Keep my table clear so that I'm not making such a mess or have a huge cascade of falling things. Then I have had these in my stash forever and a day, and I don't know if I don't think they're even on the designers or the distributors board anymore for Hensite, but I have had these for a long time. This Vintage Owl, Vintage Jack, Vintage Cat, and Vintage Crow. Look at that crow. He's so cool. I love his wing. His wing looks like a candy corn. So I have them all kitted up. Ooh, if you can see, it's all DMC. And I'll fold this, and I'm going to do them on some 40 count Hemingway from Needle and Flax. Beautiful. I think it's going to look really cool on this. So there's the Hensite Vintage 4. So when I was doing a little bit of shopping, I also ran across Emily Call Stitching. I really like her shop. Her designs are really neat. And she has this one called Spooky, which is new for this fall. So I printed that one out, purchased it and printed. Love that one. So that's a possibility. Oh my goodness. And this is a freebie, so I can actually kind of show you. It's from the Cricut collection, and I have had this, back when we lived in Pennsylvania, I used to go to Stitch and Stuff, which was on Reading Pike, or Pottsville Pike, actually, north of Reading on Route 61. And that was my LNS, and we left there in 2013. So this freebie I've had for who knows how long, but it's called Hollow Scarecrow. I'll just kind of pull it back, and it's from the Cricut collection, and I finally decided to kit it up, and I used some fog gray from Manity Donna, and I think it's going to look really cool. That white of the ghost should pop on that linen really well. So that one is all kitted up. Oh my goodness. Then I have pulled out Tricks or Treat. And I have this one kitted and that one kitted. So those should be pretty cool. I mean, there's just so many. You want to do everything that's in this book. It's let's see, she's got, you know, they've got the hard pictures in here. I was looking for the one that's all dressed up, which is the one that I have kitted. Oh, good gravy. I know it's in here somewhere because I'm pretty sure they're all with a color picture. Just a matter of finding it. I should have paper clipped it. Sorry, guys. Well, maybe I was just dreaming. I guess maybe that one is the only color picture is the one on the front of this guy. So anyway, the Blackbird Designs Tricks or Treat book. So I have that one. And then whenever we got in the new Halloween Quaker from Primrose Cottage, I pulled that one, pulled one for myself. And since I was doing all this kitting, I actually made a lot of working copies. So I can't really show you this one because it would be showing you a graph of a brand new chart. But, and I put them in these, you know, these folders. There are these page holders that you're seeing. But I've got it all kitted up with buttercream. And it's not vintage, just regular buttercream from Lakeside. And there's the colors for it. And I'm going to be doing the, let's see if there's a way to cover this maybe so that you can see it. I'm going to use one of these other things because I just made a working copy. There you go. Halloween Quaker from Primrose Cottage. Cute, cute, cute. Love that. And another one that I made a working copy of just because it's the book is the 12 Monthly Minis book that came out at Market from Primrose. Again, this is going to be one where I can't really show you because I'll be showing you the working copy, which is just the chart. And the book is in my stash, but I have pulled some, I'm going to do it 1/1 on some 28 count Mad Hatter's Tea Towel Lugana. And I'm going to be doing the October little pillow. Let's see if I can. The October pillow right there. You can see that. I didn't want to have the whole book in here and then in my big bag and then end up getting it all jacked up. So I just made a copy of the October page out of my book. Plus, the book won't fit into my little smalls pouch that I have set aside. And that's the way it is with some of these. So I've just made working copies, and I don't care if I bend the working copy to put in there, but I'm not going to bend the book. Then I have Prairie Schooler year-rounds, and I want to do that pumpkin. And I purchased some 20 count Ada, black Ada, or like a charcoal Ada, to do that pumpkin on. I think it's going to be cute. It's kind of a scary pumpkin. I'm glad that he's kind of scary. I kind of like for Halloween the scarier pumpkins rather than the happy pumpkins. I don't know why. I just do. So that is a whole lot of stuff that's going in there, and it's a lot of smalls, and we'll see what progress I make. I'm excited to kind of get started on that. And well, I guess I already have gotten started, right? But I guess I'm excited more to see what kind of progress I can get, how many finishes, and will I be able, I've got 3 pretty good size round dough bowls, and then I've got a long trencher, and I love to be able to get, a couple of those bowls all filled up. But anyway, I've got a little more haul to show you, that because of all this planning, you start really going through and trying to figure out what you want to stitch. And inevitably, I probably bought a few more things that were not really small, but it is what it is. But I'll show you what I got. Another one from Sub Rosa. It's called Happy Fall. I like that one too. But it is actually big enough that it's really not a fall or a small. I think it's got, let me see what the stitch count is on it. I want to say it was fairly good size. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it was 99 by 99. I don't know. Is that considered a small if it's under 100? One stitch under 100, but it's 99 by 99. So there's that one. And if I'm doing really well towards the end, I would love to stitch this one as well for Thanksgiving. It's just called Thankful. I like white pumpkins. I think that's really pretty. So that one's from Sub Rosa as well. And then, like all of you, I saw the Brenda Gervais fall release that she just did, and so I purchased 2 of them. Definitely not smalls, but this one feels like fall. Love this one. So pretty. Little Quaker type design. And then I have the summer one of this, but the summer swan, this is autumn swan. And I think I almost like the autumn swan better than the summer swan. Just because I guess that palette appeals to me so much. But there's autumn swan. So I got those. And I think that's it on the haul that is Stitchy haul that I would be stitching or that kind of thing. But I did get something. It's sitting right back here. When we were out shopping in Pawtucket on Saturday morning, doing a little antiquing, I found this sampler. And I've not taken the back off. The back is actually, framed with all solid hardwood and nails. So we're going to have to be real careful when we're pulling this apart because it's got those actual square peg-like nails. But it's a beautiful black sampler, marking sampler with 2 little sayings down here that look like they're in a little bit more of like a charcoal-y kind of color, not quite the dark black that the original stuff, or that the top part is. But it's, let's see, Mary Stafford Williams's sampler, wrought at 9 years of age, September 9, 1824. And on the back, you can see where we kind of pulled it a little bit, and the edging is really in rough condition. So someone else, I think, at some point put it in, the front of it into this. and covered it with the glass. But the backing is still pretty rough. So we're going to have to be real careful when we're working with this. Boy, it's hard with that glass. But anyway, so I was able to pick that up. So I love that. And let's see, the last thing that I've got that I'm adding to my wall over here on this side probably was, I mentioned earlier that we finally got my mom's house finished as far as the clean out. There was one more piece that I had stitched for her that was a Paul Levon, that when my sister and her husband and my niece moved in with my mom a few years ago, 3 years ago, I guess, this hung on the wall that was the guest room that they ended up taking, and it was gone. And I didn't think anything about it at one point. But then as we're cleaning out, I'm like, where is this, piece that I stitched? And I said to my sister, it hung on this wall right above, such and such. And I said, what did you guys do with it, when you took it down off the wall? And she didn't know. Literally, like 3 days before they were finished up loading everything to get out of the house, there it was. And she sent me a text and said, oh my gosh, I'm so glad we found this. She was about to be sick. It was stitched in 2001. My mom picked this design and it wanted me to stitch it for her. And it says, thy word is a lamp unto my feet. My mom picked the matting and everything. Rose, or that salmon-y rose color, coral color, that's her favorite color. So everything in that room, the floral bedding and everything was all done in that. So I will leave it that way. It's not how I would obviously stitch it now or frame it now, but I'm going to leave it that way because that's what my mom picked. So there's another one of my Paul Levons that I had stitched back in the day. And it has my initials and 01 right there. So I was happy to get that back. I was really starting to get upset when we weren't finding it. And then the last thing that I brought home is this can. And this can belonged to my great-grandmother. We all called her Momo. And this was her button can. And she had taken, like an old coffee can. And my husband said, well, I wonder what kind of coffee it is. And we can tear that off there. And I'm like, we will not tear that off of there. This is an ancient old, coffee can. And it's full of buttons. I mean, all the way to the top. I can't dip it down too much or they're going to fall right out. But all full of buttons. And my Momo died in 1984. I don't think anybody probably has even looked in this since then. The junk that was on the top of this little plastic lid was it was thick. It was sitting in the bottom of one of the closets, one of the storage closets. I couldn't believe it when I saw it. And neither one of my sisters do any sewing, stitching, anything that didn't mean anything to them. But I used to sit with Momo, and when she would quilt, and she'd sit at the machine, and I would match the pieces together and hand them to her, and she'd run them through. And I'd match another one, we'd do that whole process. And I would spend a lot of afternoons sitting with her doing that. And then I have her crochet hook because she also did a lot of crocheting. And so it meant a lot to me to find that. And so it's going to go up on a shelf. I'll put it up there somewhere. I'm going to put a little sticker thing on the bottom and attach to the bottom so that somebody, at some point later will know where it came from and why it's there and why it's special to me. So anyway, I thought I'd just share those with you. That's kind of, if not really but they are additions to my little stitching world in here. Let's see. Just a couple other quick things. I've got a giveaway that I want to do. And then I'll just do a quick reminder that we finished up the virtual needlework market this last week. On Monday was the last day of it. And when I got back home, Adam was up here working, but when I got back home, there were boxes and boxes of things that have arrived from the designers as they send it out to you. And so I spent a big chunk of this morning just sitting and loading all those into the inventory in the shop. So look for all those goodies, including the wonderful, probably hit of the show, the new animal cracker from Stacy Nash that is called Nettle. And she is the cutest thing ever. I mean, she's so cute. And I thought I brought one up here with me, but I think I probably managed to bring it up one level and didn't bring it all the way up to this level to show you, because I was going to do that, but I'm not sure what to do with it. Anyway, it's somewhere in the house. Cutest animal cracker, has just the most adorable little Halloween mask that you stitch separately, so you can put it on her face or you can take it off, and she's got a little pumpkin she can hold. I mean, it is just the sweetest thing ever. So anyway, go take a look at that. I've loaded in, like I said, probably about 2/3 of what I ordered has already come in. I didn't order just real super heavy, but I did order, you know, a lot of things that I thought would be great for the shop and for you guys if you love to stitch it. And then the last thing I want to do, just a giveaway. I've got a couple of things that were in my stash that I'm never going to stitch. One is from, and it's not that I don't love the designs. As I was going through all this stuff and looking at how much I had, I was like, you know, I got to thin this out. And if someone else can stitch it, then I think that's awesome. If I get around to wanting to stitch that particular design somewhere down the road, I can always get the design. But this was a kit that came from Silver Needle, and it is the Autumn Bee from the Blue Flower. Now, I have her quilting bee as a whip, but this is the Autumn Bee, and I belong to the Circle of Friends. I think it's called Circle of Friends, something like that, or Help from Your Stitching Friends, some kind of Stitching Friends Circle. I don't know what that club is called. Anyway, this is from the Blue Flower, so I'm going to give this whole kit away. And if you would put in your comment Autumn Bee, that would be awesome. If you were interested in winning that one, please do not use giveaway or freebie or anything like that in your comment. Make sure you're 18, because I am going to have your address to send it to you. And the second one that I found in my stash is the Pumpkin House from Liz Matthews. This came out in 2022. It's stitched on 2 pieces of fabric. You don't have to do that, but that's the way she did it. She used 32 count Haunted for the top and 32 count Beige for the bottom. But obviously you can do whatever you want. But it is kind of cool, have the 2 pieces, you know, to put together. So if you're interested in this one, just use Pumpkin House in your comment, letting me know that you're interested. And those will be the 2 search terms that I look for whenever I do my next floss tube, which will probably be at the end of this month as I do a September wrap up. And let me look. I'm looking at my list. I think that's it, guys. It's a little over an hour. That's plenty of time to have taken up from you. Thank you so much for coming. I hope that you loved looking at all my little Halloween and fall themed stitching smalls, and be rooting me on as I go through, and hopefully I can just get lots and lots done and fill up my bowls. I'd be so happy about that. And if I do, I'll try to finish them probably as quick as I can too, so I can get them out on display. I think that's it. Hope I didn't forget anything. I'm sure I did. I always remember after, oh man, why didn't I say that? But you know, it is what it is. I'm not a professional at this. So anyway, thank you so much. This was my 60th floss tube over, I don't know how many years, maybe 4, I think, maybe 4 years. So I'll probably average about 1 a month. And thanks for joining. Hope you'll come back. And in the meantime, have a fantastic September sampler September if you're stitching those. If you're like me and you're going to go for all the fall Halloween goodies, hope you enjoy stitching those as well. I'm going to do my sampler stitching in the spring. So enjoy, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you. Bye.